We're with Cooper Goslin and Samantha McKosky of the cross-country team. Eastern had its first meet of the season this past Saturday at the Trinity College Invitational at Wickham Park. Coop, how'd things go generally for the guys?
I thought it went pretty well. We were a little understaffed. One of our juniors, Ryan Jones, was not. He was at his Army training for the weekend, and he wasn't able to compete. And neither was the freshman George Staphagos, who should be one of our probably our top runner. He had a great time trial, great preseason. So we were a little understaffed with missing two of our top five guys at the top five guys score. But despite that, I thought the team did really well. We finished fourth. Outside of the top three, a couple of NESCAC schools, Trinity and Con, always strong competitors. They were in the top three, but I think fourth place is a great finish. And if you put in those two guys for our top five, I definitely think we could have been a contender for third.
Say, what about the women?
Yeah, we did really, really well. We had 5 girls place top 30. Mariah McPhee placed 10th. We had Cass Banks come 12th, I think it was. Then I placed 3rd. Amanda Terenzi came 4th on her team, and then Rachel
Ozak,
she came 30th. So we all did very, very well. We placed 3rd overall with Trinity and Con College in front of us. It was humid out, hilly course, so it was really, we weren't expecting to do that well, so it was a good day.
Start.
Yeah.
Well, that's such in contrast to the meet you'll be going to against Dartmouth, right? Isn't that one of the flatter courses that you'll run?
Yeah, and we'll actually be running the LEC Championship meet will be on that same course, so it's kind of nice to get out there. We run it every year. It's a nice, fast course. It's a good transition to the 8K because it's pretty flat and it's fast, so it's a good kind of, it's not such a grueling 8K course. It's a nice and relaxed one, if you can call an 8K course relaxed. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, but it'll be nice to get out there and then get a little tune-up before the LEC meet. We'll be back there. And usually all the conference teams will be there, so it's kind of cool to see like where we stack up this early in the season.
Yeah, this early.
Yeah, see where we're at.
Did you guys think, speaking on behalf of the women, Sam, did you guys feel that you guys were ready for the season? You had been in preseason for a couple of weeks, and I know a lot of the women worked hard over the summer. Do you guys feel that you were prepared to start the season?
Yeah, definitely. We definitely put in the miles. Everyone almost did over 400 this summer. Farthest was like I think 900. Amanda Terenzi did about like 900 this summer. Yeah, but no, everyone really took the summer seriously, and it was just the distance really we had to put in for the season, and even a little bit of weight training, resistant training, that type of thing. So yeah, it's paying off. So.
Well, you said it was pretty humid at Trinity, but for you it must have felt pretty good after training in Florida all summer.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm used to the humidity still, but it wasn't like a surprise to me because I had to split my miles morning and nighttime because I could never finish it all at once because it was so humid out. But it wasn't. I wouldn't say the humidity really bothered me this weekend. It was more of pressure, and it was first meet, so.
It's exciting, the first meet.
Yeah.
Coop, talk a little bit about before preseason, talk a little bit about the summer workouts. How do you work those out for summer in terms of logging miles? How many miles do you do? How often do you run?
All right, well, the way you want to train is because our championship races, the LEC, in the end of October, that's where you want to be peaking. So the summer months of June, July, and August, you're not doing really anything crazy in terms of workouts. You're not doing any heel repeats. You're not doing any mile intervals. You're doing everything at like a slow pace. It's called long, slow distance. So the guys have a goal of 500 miles the whole summer, and then 600, 700, keep going on up if you want to. But it's definitely a lot of you get a long run in each week of about 10 miles or more, and then you get pretty much every day. It's just a nice, not easy run, but it's a nice run. You're not doing anything crazy. It's just kind of building a lot of volume and base to carry into the season, so your legs are ready to handle the fast paces, and your body's just generally in better shape.
Well, when you get into the preseason, is it a jolt? In other words, Coop, you're talking about it's more leisurely distance. Does it change when you get to preseason?
Yeah, I would say Yeah, I would say so. The runs are a little faster. We go into more tempo stuff once or twice a week during preseason. And we still have lawn runs, and we try to have some pickups during our lawn runs too, so we're not sticking at one pace the whole time, which is what we're doing this summer. So.
Are you allowed to, when the preseason starts and when the season starts, Coop, do you ever just go out on your own, or does everybody run together?
Depends on the day, depends on the run, and depends on the person. So, for example, Chris Armstrong, who's a 10K guy come track season, and I'm an 800 guy, he does a lot more mileage than I would. So on a day, so for example, Thursdays are usually our normal run day. I might do 8 miles, he might go for 10, or I might go for 7, he'd go for 11 or 9 or whatever it might be, because he needs to meet his higher mileage per week than I do. But mainly that's for like normal runs, intervals. Everybody does like about the same workout. Obviously, paces vary, but that's probably about it. Everybody else usually right together.
Well, people think cross country is just an individual sport, and to some degree it is. But talk about the team aspect to running as a team.
Yeah, as a team, I mean, well, compared to high school, really, it was more of an individual thing for me. But in college, it's definitely more of a team thing, because it's something that everyone likes, you know. Yeah. And we actually have a big goal this season to beat Keene, and they've never lost in LACs before. And they've lost a few of good runners, so we definitely have a chance of winning. As a team, I don't know, it's...
But when you go out in a race, is the team... You're running sort of as a team, right? Don't you try and sort of run in packs and try and maybe a group?
That.
Yeah, it's definitely comforting when you're 2 miles into a race and your teammate pulls up on like right next to you, and you can kind of go with each other. Because for all I know, maybe I'm dying and let's say Noah comes up next to me and I'm like, oh, he's right there, I gotta stay with him, he might carry me through. Whereas if I didn't have a teammate coming, it was just another runner, I might kind of let him go. But because your teammates definitely just grab your attention in races. Usually you know where all your teammates are, whether ahead of you or behind you. You can usually keep your eyes up on whoever's in front of you, and it's a good goal because it's hard to like kind of keep track of the other runners in the race, but you know the Eastern Jersey, you gotta just keep on going towards them. So it's definitely a huge advantage to have a team out there on a race.
Yeah, and it's even like intimidating for other teams to see that during
exactly.
that race. So it's always a good thing.
Because like the really good teams might have a pack of 3 or 4 at the front of the race, and it's like, oh geez, like
that's demoralizing if you're the other team.
Yep, definitely.
But you know, you talk about teamwork. And we didn't talk about this before, but isn't there a certain aspect of internal competition among your own team?
There's some team rivalries. I remember back in freshman year, Noah and I were the incoming freshmen, and we were right at the base. We were basically the same pace. We were the same skill level. So we used to go at it at intervals. And one of our assistant coaches actually said that whoever, like if I won the last repeat, Noah would have to do an extra one, and if Noah won, I had to do an extra one. It was all a joke, but we took it pretty serious, and I think we were elbowing each other on the way up the hill to finish it. We were like diving to the finish line. But it's all like stuff like that is great, because as much as you want to beat that person during the interval or during the race, the second you cross the line, it's buddy again. It's not with any like harmful intent. It's all good, which is great, because I wouldn't have pushed that hard in a workout if I didn't have that competition, or if I was by myself. So it's all good.
Sam, you came in last year as number 1, which as a freshman, that's sort of unusual. Do you feel with the improvement of some of your teammates that you will not be always you out there running on your own? You might be more of 2 or 3?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Mariah McPhee and Cass Banks. They definitely improved a lot, and it's Mariah's last year anyways. Like, I want her to do very, very well and do her best last season. So, but yeah, I really see it as, like we're talking about, a team thing right now, not more of individual. Last year I feel like it was more of an individual thing for me. So, and I like it. I'm not upset about it or anything. It's a good way to push me even more. and it's fun. So
It's easier to have some, like Cooper was saying a while ago, it's easier to have someone pushing you than you necessarily having to just push yourself when there's no one else there.
yeah, definitely having someone to push you is definitely helpful. So.
Well, I know any aspect or any part of having a good year in cross country or track is health wise. Sam, we know you've had an assortment of injuries already in your high school and college career. Coop, you've stayed pretty much injury free though. What's the key to staying injury free?
Definitely, everything. Recovery is everything, and that goes beyond just the recovery run or the easy run. Whereas you might hit a hard workout on Tuesday, and then Wednesday might be an easy 6 miles at a nice easy pace. You gotta go beyond that. You gotta eat right. You gotta sleep right. You gotta foam roll right. You gotta stretch right. It's all the little things. Staying on top of that, and also strength training and resistance training is definitely key to kind of strengthen those muscles, so that when you do shock them with a lot of miles or a lot of fast paces, they're strong enough to support that hard training. Because if you were to just jump into 67 mile weeks and you're doing 2 workouts a week and you had no strength training, or your muscles weren't strong enough to support that workload, that's where the injuries start creeping up. And you might not feel them now, but you'll feel them come track season or come next summer for the next cycle of training.
So isn't it sort of, as compared to high school, Sam, isn't college running a lot more, in what way is it more like scientific and more, you know what I mean? There's more of a purpose, it seems like.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. Because in high school, it's 50-50 really. Either get a good coach or a bad coach, and they don't really teach you things. They just really tell you to go out and run. That's really it. And then you have people that enjoy running and just do it for the heck of it. So, but yeah, in college, Coach Manizza, she's very, very knowledgeable with running and even cross training too, which is very important because we do a lot of mileage. And
It's funny. It's funny how training progresses, because I can remember back in middle school, it was a 2-mile course. So my training would be go out and run 2 miles as hard as you can every day, and then that's how you get in shape. But then when you get to high school, we started doing some like interval work and easier pace runs. And then now in college, I'm to the point where I'm logging everything I do. I'm logging every mile I run, every pace. I'm always running with a watch to keep track of the paces per mile. So it's kind of, I'm even starting to get into like tracking heart rates and like seeing how like my heart rate might vary depending on what kind of run we're doing. So it's kind of like, as my running career has matured, so like I've been paying a lot more attention to the data, the numbers, and I think that's all necessary for for improving and getting better.
How much do you think you've improved since your first meet as a freshman?
In college, well, this weekend I was about close to a minute faster than my time was. My first meet freshman year was a minute slower than the time I ran last weekend. So that was definitely, I was happy to see that improvement, because it could be a little demoralizing when you're doing all this work and then you're seeing the same time. So it's nice to see that improvement.
Sam, is it possible for you to improve this year? I mean, you had some great times last year and you ran as #1 during the season. How can you motivate yourself to even push it harder?
Yeah, just building my confidence back up, and since now I have girls to pace with during workouts and stuff, that will definitely help me improve for the season. I do see myself improving. I mean, it's the beginning of the season, so I'm not trying to be hard on myself, but yeah, I definitely have a lot of goals, times I want to hit for even next year. It takes a little bit for you to work up to those times, but by the end of the season, I have some goals and times I want to hit, and I'm sure I can do that with the help of my teammates and my coach and just a lot of support, really. So
the Warriors are going to be getting ready for their second meet of the season. That'll be coming up on September 17th. They'll be at the UMass Dartmouth Invitational. Coop, Sam, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, no
thank
problem.
you.